Hey kids, what's up? How are you all? Welcome to today's session. This is Sweta Roy, your English master teacher at Vedantu. Today we are going to deal with an amazing chapter from your NCERT book. And the lesson is the sound of music. So this is our first session on the wonderful lesson, the sound of music. Now here we are going to study about this lesson is divided into two parts. So we are going to study about two music maestros. Yes, I know every one of you love to listen to music, right? Even I love music. So let us go into the chapter and see how these two musical maestros made contributions, immense contributions to the world of music, right? So let's go. And yes, before starting off with the session, I would again like to remind you all that this exam season you can boost your scores. How? By availing the opportunity of all the micro courses flat at ₹1. So you have 2000 plus topic-wise courses. So hurry up and buy now and avail this wonderful opportunity. So I hope you will do that very soon. And of course, a live online quiz where you can score, learn and earn. So now, welcome to the sound of music. So this will be an amazing read because this is about music, right? So before delving into the first part, which is about a musical maestro who couldn't even hear. So being deaf, she had contributed immensely in the world of music. How was that possible? We will get to know right away. So before beginning with the chapter, I would like to begin with a beautiful quote by Helen Keller. I hope you know who was Helen Keller. Who's Helen Keller? She was, she couldn't see. She was deaf and dumb. Okay. So she was also blind, yes. So it's a beautiful quote by Helen Keller where she says, I cannot do everything, but I can do something. I must not fail to do the something that I can do, right? So what she says is very, very, very crucial for us to understand. We all have some talent in us, right? We of course are not talented in each and every task, but we have one talent. So what should we do? We should recognize that hidden talent in us and strive towards making it perfect. That is what is an inspiring quote, an inspirational quote from the wonderful person Helen Keller. So with that, I would like to introduce this chapter to you. Now, as I told you, this chapter is about two music maestros and their lives. And it's in two parts. The first part discusses about the multi-percussionist Evelyn Glennie. And the second part is about the Shehnai player, the all-famous Bismillah Khan. Both of the chapter provide deep insight into the struggles and the hard work that both of these musicians had to face in order to achieve greatness. And the moral that we are going to learn from both of these parts is the struggle that we have to go through in order to reach the heights of success. Sound of music gives us a message that hard work and determination can serve us well. So if we are determined, no amount of challenges and odds in our in our daily life can stop us from attaining the heights of success. So what we need is the determination to achieve that height of success and the attitude of never to give up, right? So let's see and let's gain some of the inspiration from these personalities that we are going to deal with. Yes, so before that, I would again like to remind you about VSAT. I hope most of you have already taken the quiz, but if you haven't, then do take part. Take the scholarship admission test, VSAT 2020. You can register for free, absolutely free. Just check out this link, right? And avail the opportunity of getting 100% scholarship, right? So now with that, let us move ahead with the first part of our lesson. Evelyn Glennie listens to sound without hearing it. So what an interesting topic that we are going to deal with. So just imagine a person who cannot hear and is an expert musician. Isn't it amazing? How can it be? A person who cannot hear, how can it be that she is a great musician? Let us see how it is possible. So the first part is by Deborah Cowley. And let us move on to the life of Evelyn and let us get inspired by her life. So, she is a Scottish multi-percussionist. Now, what is a percussionist? Percussion is a musical instrument. I'll show you how does it look like. Okay, and the one who plays that musical instrument is known as percussionist. She performs internationally with a wide variety of orchestras and contemporary musicians. She has won many prestigious awards, including the Polar Music Prize of 2015. So, amazing and interesting facts about a person who couldn't even hear. So before moving to the life of Evelyn, let us have another important and interesting life story which is quite relatable to the life of Evelyn, and that is Helen Keller. I started the session with a beautiful quote by Helen Keller. So Helen Keller she was blind, deaf and dumb, but she never gave up. And she was fortunate to have a teacher like Anne Sullivan who also never gave up on her. So, with her hard work and success, she could reach, with her hard work and determination, she could reach the, heights of success. So, imagine a person who cannot see, cannot hear, and cannot speak, receiving education, graduating. How important and how interesting is that? And how inspirational is that? We when we are, with all our sense organs, we do not give importance, right? But when we are devoid of something, we actually are determined to take up that challenge and become successful in our life. That is what Helen Keller did. And these are some of the clips from the movie, some of the images from the movie Black, which was played by Rani Mukherjee. Helen Keller was played by Rani Mukherjee and the teacher was played by Amitabh Bachchan. As I think you have already seen this movie. If you haven't, then do go and see this movie. This is a very inspirational movie where Amitabh Bachchan, actually this was based on the life of Helen Keller. And Amitabh Bachchan, he says that I would never, allow your life to become black. I would enlighten you. And that is why the movie's name was Black. Black as in, when you can't see, when you close your eyes, what do you see? Everything black, right? So Helen Keller, without having the vision, she had, she couldn't see. Although she couldn't, she did not have that sight, but she had that vision. I hope you understand the difference. But we, even though we have the sight, sometimes we fail to have that vision. So we can take inspiration from the life of these great personalities so that we give importance to what we have and utilize it to the optimum level to strive towards success and become successful in our life and do great things like these personalities have done in their life. So moving on, let us move. So this is a percussion. Okay, this is percussion, and the first part deals with Evelyn, who is a percussionist. Now, Evelyn is a multi-percussionist. She has attained mastery over almost 1,000 musical instruments despite being hearing impaired. So that is the great thing that she has achieved, right? She learned to feel music through the body instead of hearing it through the ears because she could never hear anything. Then how did she become the famous percussionist that she is? With the help of her body, because music is not something to be heard. Music is something that we feel through our body, the vibrations of which is felt through our nerves of the body, and that is what is soulful music. So although she couldn't hear, but she could feel, she had the soul of feeling the music. That was the beauty, that is the beauty of music, and Evelyn could embrace it in all. So next, when Evelyn was 11 years old, it was discovered that she had lost her hearing power due to nerve damage. So she had a severe nerve damage because of which she had completely lost her hearing power. So the specialist advised her that she wear hearing aid and be sent to a deaf school for deaf, the special school. Okay. On the contrary, what did Evelyn think? Evelyn was determined that why should I be sent to a special school? I am a very normal child and I am determined to live a normal life. And she had this keen interest in music. She wanted to follow her interest. She wanted to follow her passion. Right? So although she was discouraged by her teachers, she was very much discouraged by her teachers, but one teacher, that special teacher, noticed her potential, just like Helen Keller's special teacher Anne Sullivan. And that teacher was Ron Forbes, who guided Evelyn to feel music through some other way. It is very special to have this kind of mentor in our life, right? Just like Ron Forbes or Anne Sullivan. So these are the persons who are, selflessly working. So teachers play a very important role in the life of an individual. They can mold a person's life. Actually, the teachers are the persons who create all the other profession. Teaching is a profession which create all the other profession. So we need to have respect for our teachers, because if we have that one special teacher in our life, she or he may change our life through her guidance, just as Ron Forbes did and Sullivan did. Ron Forbes did for her student Evelyn, and Sullivan did for her student Helen Keller. So we sometimes forget the name of the teacher, but we remember the name of Evelyn, we remember the name of Helen Keller. But these teachers who work day in and day night, like Ron Forbes and Anne Sullivan, they deserve special mention, because it is because of their guidance, their motivation, their enlightenment that we have today musical maestros like Evelyn and an immense personality like Helen Keller, right? So it is very important to pay respect to such wonderful teachers who make our life beautiful, who strive selflessly, tirelessly to make our lives beautiful. This worked well for Evelyn, and she realized, so if it had not been for Ron Forbes, she could actually not become the great personality that she is now, right? So it was Ron Forbes who taught her how to feel music through her body and not hear through the ears, because she couldn't hear after all. So she could realize that she could sense different sounds through different parts of her body. Once she had overcome this hurdle, so once this challenge she had accepted with the help of her teacher, she started to begin her early career. So as soon as she learned how to, feel the music with her body, with her senses, with the other senses apart from hearing, she overcame the hurdle and began her career in music. She got admission in the Royal Academy of Music, London, and scored the highest marks in the history of the academy. Amazing, incredible. Evelyn says that hard work and dedication towards her goal helped her achieve success. So what was the point that she mentioned is very important. It was her hard work and it was her dedication towards a goal that made her achieve success. So it's a lesson for all of us to keep working hard and with dedication. Only then we would be achieving the heights of success. Evelyn gives solo performances and even gives free concerts for hospitals and schools. That is again very, 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 interesting information about her. That she also started giving free concerts for what? For hospitals and schools. Then she won. So this is a philanthropic attitude on the part of Evelyn. Then she won the Royal Philharmonic Society's prestigious Sologist of the Year award. So solo performance of Sologist of the Year award she won. Evelyn's story is an inspiration for the differently abled who are motivated to fulfill their dreams just as she did. So we can see that we also gave one more example of, Helen Keller. She was also differently abled. So even despite the fact that they are differently abled, but they are not, differently abled means what? That they are having the ability. Although it is different, a little different from the normal, but they have the special ability. It is for them to realize the special ability and the talent and, make it to full bloom. So that is what she did, and she has achieved what she has become right now. With that, we move on to the second part, which deals with the life of another musical maestro, the Shehnai of Bismillah Khan. So whenever we think of marriages, we start thinking of Shehnais, right? So Shehnais are mainly played during marriages, yes. So whenever we think of marriages, automatically the picture of Shehnai comes in our mind. The beautiful tune of Shehnai starts playing in our mind, and we start to imagine the picture behind the popularization of Shehnai. That is none other than Bismillah Khan, Ustad Bismillah Khan. So yes, we will study about the life of Ustad Bismillah Khan, and I'm going to read some of the portions from his life as well, so as to make it clear to you. So let me take it out. Yeah. So some of the portions so that you could relate it with your text as well. So moving on to Ustad Bismillah Khan, who was an Indian musician born in 1916, often referred to by the title Ustad. He was the one who popularized the Shehnai. While the Shehnai had long held importance as a folk instrument played primarily in traditional ceremonies, Khan is credited with elevating its status and bringing it to the concert stage. So initially it was a musical instrument which was just played in traditional ceremony. But now the Shehnai, it started, it elevated its status and it was brought to the concert stage. And who was the figure behind it? None other than Bismillah Khan. With this, I would like to remind you about another great personality who brought dance and singing from a lowly stature to the stature of good women. So initially, dance, music, song was not regarded with regarded as something which should be practiced by the respected individuals of the society. But who was the figure who brought dance, music, and these things into the families of respected individuals? None other than Rabindranath Tagore. So just as Rabindranath Tagore elevated the status of dance and music and brought it to the family of, brought it to the respectable families, houses of respectable families, and now it has now gained a position, respectable position. Similarly, Bismillah Khan also is credited with elevating the status of Shehnai from just being played primarily in traditional ceremonies to being played in the concert stage. So now let us move into the summary of the entire chapter, and I will also read out some portions from your book, so that from your text, so that you could well relate it and you would have no problem in this lesson. So this lesson is an effort to understand Indian classical musicians. So those of you who have an ear for music would really appreciate this, right? So I think most of us have an ear for music, but there are some singers as well, some musicians as well among us. So this would be an amazing inspiration. Those who can understand classical music, I think this would be a chapter which you would love to read. Yes. So basically, it's a wonderful and inspirational read for all of us, right? And yes, the instrument, especially the origin of Shehnai and Shehnai maestro Ustad Bismillah Khan. Shehnai replaced pungi. Now, pungi was another musical instrument which was replaced by Shehnai because pungi had an unpleasant sound. Pungi's tonal quality was improved by a nai. So, actually what happened is, I'll read out that portion to you so that you would understand. Okay. Yes, I got that portion. Emperor Aurangzeb banned the playing of a musical instrument called pungi in the royal residence, for it had shrill, unpleasant sound. Pungi became the generic name for reeded noisemakers. That is, reeded means wind instruments which have reeds. Okay, reed. Harmonium also have reeds, right? Like flute, all these reeds. So what happened is, it was considered as an instrument which had very unpleasant sound. So therefore, Emperor Aurangzeb, banned it. Then what happened? A barber of a family of a professional musician who had access to the royal palace decided to improve the tonal quality of pungi. He chose a pipe with a natural hollow stem that was longer and broader than pungi, and made several holes. So he selected one pipe and started to make several holes on it. When he played on it, closing and opening of some of these holes, soft and melodious sounds were produced. He played the instrument before royalty and everyone was impressed. The instrument, so different from pungi, had to be given a new name, of course. As the story goes, since it was first played in the Shah's chambers and was played by a Nai as in barber. In Hindi we call him a Nai. The instrument was named Shehnai. So this was an interesting story about the origin of Shehnai. So Pungi's tonal quality was improved by a Nai, barber, okay, of Shah as in Emperor Aurangzeb, right? So Shehnai, okay, that is how it got its name. So with that, let us see what is there next. So this is a pungi, as you can see over here. This is a pungi, and this had a very shrill sound. Therefore, Aurangzeb did not like it, and he banned it. But then it was, improved. The tonal quality was improved by one of the barbers who had an ear for music, and he made a new instrument and gave it a new name, that was Shehnai. The lesson beautifully deals with the early life of Bismillah Khan in Bihar, Dumrao in Bihar. His grandfather was a Shehnai Nawaz of the Bhojpur king's court. Bismillah Khan took to music early in life when he was 3 years old. So he was a very talented person, had keen ear for music. He started from as early as 3 years old in the company of his maternal uncle. His life is a source of simplicity and communal harmony. From the very beginning, he used to sing Cheata. I'm sorry, I'm not able to, maybe my pronunciation is wrong because this is a musical term and I'm not very good with it. In Bihariji temple and practicing Shehnai in Vishnu temple and Mangla Maya temple of Varanasi. So you can, one more point that we can see over here is, though being of a different religion and practicing a different religion, he had no problem in singing in temples. So that is what makes him, a person favoring communal harmony. And that is where his greatness lies. So an artist is beyond all these, divisions created by caste, creed, religion, gender. He is an artist and he depicts the beautiful art which is completely devoid of any caste, barriers of caste, creed, religion. Bismillah Khan got his big break with the opening of All India Radio in Lucknow. So that was the first performance. That was the breaking performance. Okay. He also played Shehnai on 15th August 1947 from Red Fort in the presence of Pandit Nehru. So these are the achievements of Bismillah Khan. Bismillah Khan gave many memorable performances both in India as well as abroad, where he was honored with many awards as well. He also gave music in 2 movies, Goonjati Shehnai and Sanadi Apanna. He was so fond of his motherland, India, Banaras, and the Holy Ganga that he refused an offer to be the head of Shehnai school in the US. So one question that can come up over here is, why did he refuse the offer of being the head of Shehnai school in USA? Because he was completely attached to India, especially his motherland Banaras and the Holy Ganga. Therefore, he couldn't go and settle in some other place, and he refused to be the head of the Shehnai school in US because he was attached to his motherland. So, in 2001, Ustad Bismillah Khan was awarded India's highest civilian award, that is the Bharat Ratna. In the end, his life is a perfect example of rich cultural heritage of India, one that effortlessly accepts a devout Muslim like him can very naturally play the Shehnai at the Kashi Vishwanath temple. So this is a point which we need to, which needs appreciation, because as I told you that art is beyond the divisions created by caste, creed, religion. So although he was a devout Muslim, but he had no problem. He had no, yes, he had no trouble in playing his musical instrument very naturally at the Kashi Vishwanath temple, and therein lies his greatness, because he embraced all the religion together, and he was not in favor of any division. He was in favor of communal harmony. So these were the two stories, two very inspirational stories. And my dear students, I hope you have got great lesson, great inspirational lessons from the lives and personalities that we have talked about in today's session. For example, we talked about, of course, the two main personalities which is there in your text, Ustad Bismillah Khan and Evelyn. Apart from these two personalities, I also mentioned the famous personality Helen Keller, who was also deaf, blind and dumb, although that never stopped her from achieving what she wanted to. So guys, do comment in the comment section about what you have learned from the lives of these great personalities, and how are you going to apply it in your life. I would love to hear it from you in the comment section. Thank you guys for being with us, and take care. Bye bye. Keep showering your love by hitting the like button and do subscribe. Thank you guys. Bye bye.